Brandon Stubbs Marks. Yeah. There we are. Thank you. Brandon Marks, everybody!
Hey, it's been a while since I've been up here. Went through some life events, turned 31, not fun, not a good time. Acquired a girlfriend, that's also a little bit weird for anybody that knows me. And I decided to get one of those big boy jobs because I got sick of having like a bullshit ass fucking minimum wage job. But one of the first things I noticed while having said big boy job is like you go into a job like this and you'll get spoken to on like a completely different level, almost to the extent that you need like a translator. Like one of the first days I was at work, I was sitting there and this guy walks up to me and he's like, "You stupid faggot ass cum dumpster, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "What?" And if the translator would have been there, he could have easily been like, "Oh, he's just trying to tell you he likes you and you're doing a good job. It's all good, don't worry about it." But the people I work with are also like big redneck hunter types and fucking morons. Like, one day I was having a conversation with this girl that I work with and, you know, we're sitting there talking about stuff and next thing I know she's talking about how it is physically impossible for a guy to piss with an erection. And I just wanted to look at her and be like, "Well, do you have a fucking dick? Because I do, and I piss with one every morning." But, you know, it just must mean there's like some kind of common misconception that women don't understand about penises. But also having been through, you know, the ringer with minimum wage jobs is, I used to have this one job, and it involved a place that had fun, food, and fantasy. Which, let me tell you, working there, none of those things actually exist. But I used to work with this one guy, and I would come in every single Sunday, and you know, I'd usually have a hangover or something, or been up all night the night before, so the last thing I want to spend my day doing is actually doing my job with no fucking sleep whatsoever. And we used to go driving around, you know, doing our job and stuff, and you know, one day I'm like half asleep, just hanging out, you know, just waiting to get off work, and he sees a fucking turtle along the side of the road, and he decides to stop, and he's like, "Come on, Brandon, we can get out of this car, we can get this turtle." And I'm like, "Dude, shut the fuck up, I just want to go the fuck to sleep." "But Brandon, we get this turtle, we can make it an ashtray, we find another turtle, we can make knee pads." And I'm like, "Dude, I still don't give a fucking shit, I just want to go the fuck to sleep." And, you know, I had to deal with this guy and like 60-year-old women who were like the biggest fucking cunts on the planet. Like, they had nothing else better to do with their time than just fucking bitch about stupid ass shit. So I would sit there, you know, listen to music and read books, do something else, you know, constructive with my time, and, you know, they would sit there and talk shit about me while I'm listening to my music, not thinking I could actually hear what they were saying. And one day they were talking about, you know, vegetarians, which I happen to be one, and the one was like, "Well, only, you know, rich kids with lots of money can afford to do something like that." And I'm like, you know, I immediately rip out my earbuds and I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And she's like, "Well, only if you have money can you do something like that." And I was like, "Well, how much do you spend a week on groceries?" She says, "About $200. I'm like, "Bitch, I spent 20 bucks and I can eat for 2 weeks like a fucking king. Take that." But said same woman, about a week or two later, she's talking shit about people with tattoos. Oh, here we fucking go, I think. Let's hear what she has to say. So she decides to talk about how only dirty, disgusting people could do something like that to their body. And I'm just like, looking at her, and I'm just like, wow, you're 60 fucking years old, and it looks like you're goddamn near 100. I was like, I'm 30, and people think I'm like 22, 23. I was like, man, this bitch needs to let up. But another thing they used to always talk about is eating faggots. Because apparently in the coal region there's like some weird dish that involves like sausage and cabbage or something, and they refer to it as faggots. Now, when you're in the middle of like a break in between tracks of a song, you just hear all of a sudden people screaming about faggots, Lord only knows what you could be experiencing. So of course I take my earbuds out thinking like, you know, they're gashing, you know, I can't talk today, bashing gay people or something like that, and it turns out they're talking about food. Yeah, that was a little bit of a mind fuck. It took me hours to wrap my brain around the fact that there's food called faggots. You know, maybe it's a tasty treat, who knows? But one of my favorite games that I used to play when I was younger is, you know, when some female would actually let me, you know, fiercely put my dick inside them for the 2.5 minutes it would take to reach ejaculation, that I would use said time to quote quotes from movies. And, you know, this one time I'm sleeping with a girl, you know, doing the deed, and, you know, I whisper in real close, I'm like, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? She's like, what? Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? I swear to God, I swear to me! Huge ejaculation right on her face. Didn't even see it coming. But I'm actually gonna close my set with a joke for once, which is kind of awkward for me. So, what's the difference between a pregnant woman and a light bulb? You can unscrew a light bulb. Thank you.